using my right leg as the ACL leg right now, okay? So my right leg is the lead foot entering the ring because it's gonna be the foot that's sticking into the ground to do the cut. In this video, I'm going to be going over how I teach cutting. Cutting is a very scary task at first. At this point, the patient's been rehabbing for months. They're already kind of anxious to get into that cutting phase. Hopefully, we've done our diligence to make sure that they're strong enough and we are confident in their ability to cut. So breaking down cutting, I think, is very important. It shouldn't be something where you just tell them, hey, go out, go cut, and then that's it. I think there's a certain benefit, there's a major benefit to breaking things down for the athlete so that they can gradually be exposed to that task. So for cutting, I personally like to use a ring that we have. If you don't have a ring, you can take either TheraBands or something like that to just make a box. I think having something like this is just nice because they know exactly where they're going. And especially for that early portion, it's really nice because it takes out another factor of it. They know this is where they're cutting. They know the footwork that needs to go into place while they're cutting, okay? So when you're teaching cutting, it's broken down to steps at first. So it's very, very simple in the sense that you are creating a single task that they can complete before you start building off of it, okay? So I usually have them walk through it so they can get comfortable. You expose them to 25% speed, 50%, 75%, and then you're going full speed at first, okay? So with the ring, what I typically tell them is that when you're cutting, you're trying to change directions. Simple enough, right? The goal in sports, let's say for basketball, lacrosse, or soccer, any of those sports, you're trying to fake the defender out so you can get around them to get to where you need to go, okay? So for the purpose of using the ring, I'm using my right leg as the ACL leg right now, okay? So my right leg is the lead foot entering the ring because it's gonna be the foot that's sticking into the ground to do the cut. But again, we're starting from level 1, okay? So at first what I say is I want you to step in with your right foot, then your left foot, then you plant outside the ring with your right foot, okay? So it's gonna look like this at a very slow speed. Right foot, right foot, stick, okay? And then reset, right foot, stick. And you can see as they gain more confidence, they can start going faster and faster, okay? And then stick. Okay? What I don't want to see is I've talked about the importance of neuromuscular control, how they need to be able to demonstrate good awareness of their bodies. If they're doing this simple task at this slow pace and they're kind of all over the place like that, they are not ready to cut, okay? So make sure you are using your eyes to assess them. But if they do this over and over again and you see them being really, really confident and they can kind of keep their eyes up and cut, that means they're kind of ready to go into the next phase, okay? So that's level 1. Again, make sure you gradually progress that speed. So I'm gonna bring this back a little bit, right here. So you can see that orange cone on the ground right there. That is where I'm cutting to. Again, I like to give them clear targets. Sometimes, at least in our space, I'll use the lines as a target too. I think it's just nice because you're, again, eliminating any variable that the athlete has to worry about. You're trying to make them as comfortable and confident as possible. So for here, what I tell them now you're going to be doing the exact same footwork, but now you're actually going towards a direction. You're actually cutting now, okay? So starting at a slow pace, it might look like this: right foot, right foot, stick, and then into here, and then decelerate. Okay, it's gonna be very slow at first. They're gonna be a little bit tentative at first, but as you get more comfortable, then they're going here, okay? And then we get really, really fast. Step, okay? So that's how the general progression goes. And that right there is a cut, right? That's a nice, clean cut that they show where they're changing directions from the right to the left foot. Again, make sure you're working on both sides. Even though the left side's not the injured side, you still want to make sure they're working on that side too, because it still works on the right foot, getting used to moving quickly, okay? So building off of that some more is that right now I've been starting stationary, right? It's just a nice easy start. They know exactly where they're going and they're coming here. So here, I might back up a little bit because this mimics a little more sports-like, right? Now it's if I had a basketball, I'm coming down here and I'm trying to fake and I'm coming this way. Or you think maybe a lacrosse player or a football player having to come down, do a plant, change directions and do a fake, right? So here, Again, starting slow, I'm gonna jog into it. Right foot in, boom, plant, and coming here, okay? And a little faster here, okay? So you can see how I build up from that level 1. We started here, 25% speed. Right foot, left foot, here, okay? And then you progress to just a cone. Now you're building off of that to include, an actual run-up phase, okay? So, if I want to build upon that even more, I might use another ring, okay? So I'm gonna put this one up here, and then I'm gonna put a second one over here, okay? Still have this orange cone up here, just so again, they know exactly where they're going, okay? So now they're cutting in more like a zigzag. So you're really building off of it. If you want to start again nice and easy, because it is a back-to-back cut, they might start closer, so you're eliminating that run-out phase. So here, left foot in first, and here, coming in, right foot in, cut, and then stepping here, okay? So if you want to build off of that, run into the first cut, and then you're going all the way through. So here, left foot in, and then right foot in, and then here, okay? So that's the 3-4 levels of buildup that it takes to start the initial phases of cutting. You're not going to get through all these in one day. You shouldn't really get through all those in one day. One, it takes time for them to build their confidence. Two, it's just going to take, it just takes time. It's really no fancy way of saying it. It's just going to take lots and lots of repetition for them to build off to that level. And also the speed wise it takes to get it. And then usually what I'll take after this, let's say I do this and I want them to really get into a full sprint. Just for the sake of the camera, it's a little hard to show, but right now I've been having them go towards that orange cone so they know exactly where they're going. I might do something, you see me use a lot of tennis balls to drop. So what I'll do is I might go here, cut here, and then here, same thing here, and their eyes up, and I'm tossing a ball 10 yards down the field and have them sprint out and catch and get it. Or I might stand here and have them do another fake, but based on my reaction. You know, I've talked about a lot of times you're pointing left to right. So I might be standing here, they cut through, and then at the end, when they get to me, I point this way, so they have to go that way. Something like that to really continuing building off of this simple structured format. Because at the end of the day, you have to add some sort of randomness to it. There needs to be a reactive component to this late stage cutting. So I think, again, at the end, at the beginning, you're starting with very structured. You're building off of that structure, continuous structure, and then you add a little more advanced, which is why I started adding the second ring. And then off of that, once they look really good, then you start adding a little bit of that reactive component to it, and that's when everything starts to come full circle, as opposed to, when they starting to feel like they're gaining their confidence to go back to their sport. So yeah, that's the breakdown of how I start teaching the footwork necessary for cutting. So I hope you guys found that helpful. Thank you for watching today's video. Please feel free to like and subscribe and share it on your social media platforms. If you're interested, I have started an ACL Mastermind group, which is a growing library of content centered around ACL Rehab. It has exercises ranging from immediate post-op to late-stage sport-specific movements and everything in between. It's a growing library and currently holds over 250 videos. There's content centered around assessments, movement breakdowns, exercise breakdowns, case studies, and a whole lot more. You also gain access to a private forum where you can engage with like-minded people, ask questions, share research articles, and share resources. If you're interested, please feel free to click the link below. Thank you for watching.